Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today, as you can read by the title, we have a very interesting story time. Now, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, if you family, close friends, you've seen that title and you click on this video, so just be aware of what you watch. I don't want you to watch it, but you've seen this title and you still click on that video being nosy, so I guess you can watch it, but don't come to me later talking about it, okay? Alright, so I went back and forth in my head with telling this story just because it's a little personal and it's just, like it's just personal, it's sensitive, but it's a lot of videos like this, and I know it helps people. Like when I was starting to think about stuff like this, I actually went and was watching these kind of videos. How did I lose it? Videos and stuff like every day. I was watching a hella story times about this, so I was like, why not share my experience? So let's go ahead and get into it. So I was always the one. Well, no, when I was younger, I used to always say, when I was in middle school, I was like, when I turn 16, when I turn 16. Got in ninth grade, everybody turning 16, and I'm just like, or was it 10th grade? I think I turned 16 in 10th grade, but like when ninth grade hit, we got in high school, and I started seeing a lot of my peers losing it, some getting pregnant. I'm like, oh no, like I'm not doing this. Like it was like something I wasn't interested in because it was a lot of them not with their boyfriends. They had baby daddies. At, you feel me, 15, 16, and I just wasn't interested. So I'm like, all right, 18, 18 when I graduate, whatever. And then, a lot of people start losing at 18, having babies as soon as they graduate. And I was just like, all right. Then I started talking to my mama because I was sold on 18. I'm going to do it like graduation night, prom night, something like that. So then I had to start asking my mama about it, asking her questions like, when did you lose it? How was it? Who was it with? Da 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 da. Asking all these questions. And she will always say, she don't want to talk about it until I'm ready. But in my eyes, I'm like, girl, if I'm asking you a question about it, obviously I'm thinking about it. But she would tell me that she lost it around 19, 20 years old and stuff. So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna do 21 because I got a future. Like I be in college, I'll be doing good in life. At least I might find my soulmate by 21. So let's talk about the boy now. So the boy was very much older than me. How I met him was on Instagram. He was one of the ones that was in my DM back to back to back. Like kept responding to my story, kept texting me. One day I ended up texting back because I ended up following him to see his page or whatever. And I'm like, okay, kind of cute. So I ended up following him or whatever to see his page. And by the way, y'all, if y'all can see this lace or if my makeup look crazy, don't mind it. Just listen to the video. I tried to do my makeup. I tried to do my wig. If I look crazy, just listen, don't watch. I always say that because I be looking crazy. Whenever he asked me my age, I told him I was 16, and he was just like, oh, you a baby. So I didn't really respond back to it. I probably said something small, but nothing too crazy. Like every time I hear my baby, they don't text back because I'm a baby, right? No, he kept texting, kept texting, kept texting. So then it got to the point where we was like always on FaceTime, always on the phone, texting, playing 8 ball and stuff. Like I think we was calling each other bae at this point. Like that was my man. Like I liked him. I think he was at the time. If I was 16, he was 21, 21 or 22. Yes, he was around that age. Sad, but yeah, that's how the fuck it. That's what happened. That's how it was. So we never talked sexual, none of that. Like none of that ever came about. He complimented me a lot, but it wasn't nothing about like my body. It was just always my face and stuff. Like he just made me feel pretty. So the day comes where we're talking about seeing each other. Now at this point, I didn't link with boys. I was scared because not only was I innocent, I wasn't 100% innocent. Y'all. I was on Instagram twerking, reposting freaky stuff and stuff. Like I knew what the fuck was going on, but I just wasn't ready to act on it. So a lot of people was in my DM on that type of timing because at that time that was when sneaky links was about. Everybody just freaking on each other, not really want relationships. So there was a lot of people coming at me like that. But I'm on some stuff like, baby, I'm a little innocent. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm not acting on it. I don't know how to do that, baby. I'm not doing that. All I know is how to shake this little booty, lay down and post it, and that's it. So it was only one person I used to link with. He went to school with me, and the most we did was like tongue kiss or whatever. I didn't really like him. It's so weird. Like I thought he was ugly, but for some reason I liked him, like conversation wise and the vibe he gave, but like his face wise was like ugly. And that's the only person I let pull up on me like a lot, and stuff. So it was only him, and it never got as far as kissing. Like I wouldn't even let that boy touch my neck, my chest, my legs, like none of that. Like no. And then he'd take me to get food and stuff. But I was always in the house, like I could never really go nowhere. Street dad. My mom wasn't too strict, but like she just followed his footsteps. So my dad say no, she say no. So it's just like I asked her a question, I asked your dad. So it's just like she ain't really had no say so. So strict dad. and I was always in the house, never could really do anything. So I snuck and did everything. Like as far as even going outside to just be with my friends, like homegirls, if they knock on their door and ask me to come outside, I cannot come outside. So it's like I snuck outside when they was at work to even play, to even socialize. You know, when I get off the school bus, I'd be at the bus stop socializing because it's like I know once I go in that house, I can't come out. So it was a point where my mama had, at the beginning of the year, she had 2 jobs and he had a job. So I just knew that I could, go outside. So we started talking about Lincoln. And the first week my mama was home, like she would let me go outside, but it's like, okay, be home for your dad get from work or whatever, or before it get dark outside. He planned on coming to see me. I ended up giving him my address. He gave me his. He was like, oh my god, we're like 10 minutes, like 7 to 10 minutes away from each other. So it's just like, wow, that's so like that's not far at all. I'm surprised I never ran into you, but I'll be outside. And he's not a child, so of course I haven't ran into this boy. So let's get into it, y'all. Well, the first link, nothing happened, but I'm gonna still tell y'all because it plays like a big part. Okay, so we planned to see each other. He was telling me about seeing me, and I told him the date, but I'm like, it's not official because I have to act. So it was like 5 o'clock, but this when it got dark early, like around 6, 7. So it's like 6, 7. So it's like 5 something, and I ended up asking my mom, like, hey, can I go outside or whatever to the park with Corey or whatever? Just named a friend to go. And she was like, oh yeah, just make sure you're home before it get dark. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, cool. So I ran back upstairs and I texted him like, hey, like, you can come see me or whatever. Like, okay, yeah. And he was like, all right, I gotta take my sister to work real quick and I'm gonna come. But it's like, it would be weird if I stayed upstairs for like an hour and then went outside. My mom was like, girl, you said I was gonna go outside. You can't go no more. So I had went ahead and, got ready to go outside, put my jacket on. It was a little chilly. It was in January, by the way. Or no, this happened in December. This was in December. It was a little chilly out, so I went and put on my jacket and stuff and headed outside. And I just walked to the park or whatever. And it was daytime. I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm telling her, texting her, telling her what I'm about to do. I'm so nervous. So he ended up asking me, am I coming to his house? Mind you, I said we could just go to the park together. And he was like, his house. I'm like, should I go to his house? I'm asking her. She was like, yeah. At this point, she had already lost it, but she wasn't necessarily pushing me to go to his house, but she wasn't drawing me back either. So it was just like, yeah, you should go. But I'm like, I don't want to go. She's like, well, don't go. It's like, girl, the fuck, help me. Like, so she was telling me to go at first, and she was like, no, don't go. And so he was, on the other hand, asking me to come to his house, and I'm like, no. And he was like, I just want to like lay up with you and cuddle. And like, I'm getting thrown off because this is the first time talking like this. Like, he even said something about eating it, and I'm like, oh. I was just like, I don't want him to eat it because I know where that leads to. And mind you, I've never been in this predicament, but listening to story times and just common sense. If you're letting a grown ass man eat you, he's gonna want to, go further with it or want you to do something. And I just wasn't ready for none of that. So, um, what happened? Cool, I'm telling him like, nah. So then I end up giving in. Like, yeah, I'll come in your house. I'll come in your house. I'm telling her like, I ain't doing it, and I'm gonna go to his house, but it's only gonna be for a little minute. Cause at this point, I'm me and him texting, and I'm on the phone with her just at the park and stuff, walking and on the swing. I'm realizing it's getting dark at this point. It's around 7 o'clock. Like, where are you? Come to find out, his sister worked like far. Like, she worked at a restaurant that was in Garden City, and I'm on the south side of Savannah. So if you know, it's like that's pretty far around that time on the weekday between 5, like that's traffic. So I didn't even know he had to go that far out. So he ended up like, oh, I'm on the way, like I'm finna come, da da da. So I was like, okay, cool. He pulls up to come and get me. And when I hop in the car, like no hug, no handshake, just nothing, just looked at each other, smile, hey. He was like, oh, we can't go to my house no more because I left the key at home and my mama done left and stuff. And I was like, oh, dang. But inside, I'm like, yes, I'm not going to his house. I'm not going to his house. So we ended up sitting in a car. He was like, where can I park? And I was like, oh, I guess you can park over there. Mind you, where I live, it's like 3 different neighborhoods. So my neighborhood was like the first neighborhood. Like it's one street, one way in, way out. But once you turn in that street, it's a neighborhood of apartments, a neighborhood of houses, and then apartments in the back. So the only park was in the back with the other apartments. So that's where I was at. So he's like, where can I park? And I'm like, I guess you can park over there. Like in the parking spot with the apartments. Like, I don't know. So he went to a park. We talked for a little bit. He was like, I don't want to be out here. Like, it's too bright. I don't want to be out here. Mind you, I'm not even knowing. I'm not going to lie. I was oblivious. I'm like, okay. He's like, I want to like go somewhere else. So when I noticed he started going out the neighborhood, I'm like, well, I can't be going too long because I got to be home in about 30 minutes. Like, it's pretty dark at this point. It's going on like 8 o'clock, probably 9 o'clock. Like, it's getting pretty late. I gotta go home soon. He's like, okay, cool. I'm about to go across the street. So it's like some more apartments like across like 2 streets that you could still see or whatever. Like, it's not too far. It's like walking distance. But he went over there because they got like a lot of trees. It's pretty dark in that neighborhood. So he's riding around for like 10 minutes straight looking for parking. He'll park and move, park and move. I'm like, the fuck, just sit the car down. Like, just stop. Talk. You know? So he finally found a parking spot. Y'all, I can't even see this man's face. That's how dark it is in that parking spot. You get there, he turned the light off. He turned facing me. We really just talking about random shit. I can't even say what we were talking about, y'all. Really can't. So I remember he said something about the back seat, but that shit was messy. Like, the whole car was messy. Like, even if I was on that timing, baby, your car messy. What is gonna happen next? Because he was saying something like get in the back seat, and I looked back. I'm like, I don't know, like why? Like, why are you getting in the back seat? And then the shit got clothes and stuff all over the place. What's going on? Like, no, I'm not doing it. So after about 20 minutes of us sitting there talking, debating about the back seat, I think he ended up catching the attitude because he was just like, well, ain't you gotta go home? I was like, yeah. So he was, I didn't even really describe him to y'all, but I'm about to right now. He was black and Puerto Rican. He was heavy set, tall. It wasn't like a sloppy heavy set though. He was like big and buff and tall. And he had like facial hair and like real curly hair. And he was really cute to me. He was light skinned and stuff. So when he came to pull up on me, he had a scully on. So as he's pulling off for the attitude, I'm like, oh dang, why you got that scully on? Or it was a ski mask, one of them. I'm like, but it was only on his head. I was like, why you got that on? And he was just like, I don't know, I just always wear it. And I was like, I want to see your hair. And he was like, oh, I was like, take it off and see your hair. He was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, what if I snatch that off your head? Girl, he gave me the coldest look ever from that driver. He driving, he's talking about, I bet you won't. But it was like in a mean way. He probably ain't say I bet you won't. He was like, something like he dared me to take it off, but like it wasn't gonna be pretty after. Like the way he looked at me, like bitch, don't fucking touch me. Like I bet you won't. So I was just like, I looked at him, I was like, mm-hmm. But I had felt the awkward vibe, so I just looked away and got on my phone. Wait till I got home. So he sent me back to the park or whatever because I didn't want to tell him where I live. So when I got out of the car, y'all, it wasn't no handshake. Wait, no. We actually did a handshake. I had did this. Like I cocked my hand back like one of them, like. Ugh. Because at first it was awkward. I was sitting here and I looked at him and I just started laughing. So I did my hand like this and he giggled and he shook my hand. Like he did that laugh and shake his head and shook my hand like that. Who got out the car? I went and sat on the swing because he was sitting there for a minute. I don't know why, baby. I ain't finna go home. So I went to go sit on the swing. It's dark at this point and he ended up leaving. So I ended up walking home, whatever. I didn't get in trouble or whatever. So after that, we everything went back to normal. At this point, we always on FaceTime. He lived with his family, so he was always on his family. So us being on FaceTime, I would like talk to his sister and his mom. He'd be like, "Oh, this my grab." Like, hey, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, she's so pretty" or whatever. Like make conversation. Like I met them over the phone basically. So we was cool. We called each other baby. I think at this point we saying I love you. Like it's getting kind of crazy. We never addressed the meetup part. He was just telling me like how pretty I was and stuff. But nigga, he was mad that we ain't do shit, like not even kiss, not even hug. So I knew he was, but I was avoiding that shit at all costs, and he didn't bring it up. So maybe a couple weeks later in January we link again. So this is when the real deal happened, y'all. This is when it happens. Okay, I'm about to give y'all as much detail as possible, but still be a little bit like what's the word? Like, I don't want to be too vulgar. I don't want to put all my business out there, but I'm going to give y'all as much detail as possible without being talking too crazy, if that makes sense. Okay? So, this link was planned. My mama was working 2 jobs. She was gone from 5 to 8. 3 hours, y'all. 3 hours. But I don't know. No, she was going longer because she had 2 jobs, but she didn't come home from the other job. She got off of that one at 5 and went straight to the other one till 8:30 or whatever. But he had to work, and I'm like, okay, cool. Long as I'm home by 8 o'clock. Like she gets off right at 8 o'clock, but for her to get home, she'll probably get home no later than 8:30. So at least if I walk through this house, not leave your house at 8, but walk through this door at 8, everything will be cool. Mind you, I had played this game many times. Not on no grown shit, not trying to be grown, just outside having fun and making sure I'm in that house before anybody get home. So, or having people in my house, like my friends come over in my house and then I make sure they go home by 8 o'clock. So cool. We get to the okay, so we plan for him to pick me up. He ends up picking me up it was like a little cut right before my apartments, and I told him to just park there, and I walked to his car, whatever. So he, at this point, he knew my neighborhood, but he didn't know what apartment I came out of. So cool. This was planned. Nothing ever sexual else was talked about. So I went to his house, but I'm kind of already know what's happening, y'all, because I had a shave. I had got right, y'all, smelling good. I put on some nice ripped jeans, some socks and Crocs. What did I have on Sunday? I think it was Crocs, and I had on a regular little shirt. I think I had on a sweatshirt with a bra. Yeah, a sweatshirt with a bra, like a jacket with a bra, y'all, and some ripped jeans. So I was ready. I had some of my best friends. I don't even know if I told her I was going. I think I told her I was going, but we didn't really talk. I did tell her I was going. So cool. He come get me, get in the car. I'm like, oh hey, or whatever. Go to his house. That job was really close, like 7-minute drive. So we get to his house, y'all. So pay close attention. I'm finna give you as much detail as possible. We get to his house, and his house is an apartment. Also, you know them apartments where you open the door and then like you look to the left, and the stairs are like right there along the wall to go upstairs to the rooms. But if you look to the right, you got like the living room and the kitchen, but like the stairs are right there. So like he opens the door and he walks in first. Some people let me walk in. He walks in first. I walk in, close the door behind me, lock it because that's just normal. And he start walking upstairs, but I didn't know I was supposed to follow him. Like, this is my first time at somebody else's house, so I was standing there, and it was a boy in the living room playing the game. And me and him kept doing this, like, because at first I had staring at him, and then he looked at me off the game, and he looked again, and I was like, and he was like, and we just kept doing that. And so I looked back up, and the boy, he was looking, we didn't even give him a name. Winnie the Pooh is his name. Winnie the Pooh is the virginity taker's name, okay? Winnie the Pooh, he was looking back, and he was like, and I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up walking up the stairs, and he had turned, like, as soon as he hit the top stair, he turned and opened the door, but there was somebody in there, so I didn't go. And the door, I was standing, like, right behind him, like, I was on his trail, because I just been walking around. But he gave his mama the keys, so I'm guessing it was her car, and he was like, something, and they start talking, and so he closed her door, and he walked across the hall to his room, I guess. He opened the door, and he, like, emptied out his pockets or whatever. So his bed was on the floor, y'all. Like, soon as you walk through his door, you look right here. It's like this much room between the door and the bed. It was on the floor. His sheets were like not. They probably were dirty, but like, you know how you wash something so much and you stain it so much that even when you wash it, the stains don't come out. It had dogs on it. Like, it was like a dog sheet. Like, not live dogs, but like the prints were like pictures of dogs on the sheets. So it was a fitted sheet and a flat sheet and a little ass blanket. Mind you, he's a big guy. Where's the cover? Confused. And it was like 2 flat ass pillows. So I was like, oh wow, I never seen that like this. Like, it was clean in there. He had a little couch over there, had a couple clothes in it, but like nothing on the floor was too crazy. His dresser was a little messy. That's normal in anybody's house, like the dresser be where everybody put their shit at. But it wasn't like a big dresser. It was like a little nightstand next to the bed where he had all his like tree and stuff. So at this point, oh, and then after he took me in the room, he ended up leaving out because his mama called his name. Mind you, throughout this whole day, the whole time I was there, his mama kept calling his name, y'all. Like, kept calling his name. It was so crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Does she know that he got company? Because she would call his name, he'd be gone for 2 seconds to come right back. Like, what the fuck is she asking? What the fuck do she need? Like, I'm sorry to be cursing like that, but that was actually crazy to me, and it had kind of blew me. So, anyways, after he walked in there, emptied out his stuff on the nightstand and left because mama called him. I looked at my best friend, like, girl, his bed on the push. Let me see. So I ended up like doing like a little video of his room like that and send it to her. Couldn't open her messages for the rest of the time I was there because he couldn't have seen that I sent her that. So he came in there and he went to go sit on the edge of his bed that was on the floor, and he was on the nightstand, like sitting there on the nightstand. He was putting together the tree. At this point, I did garden heavy. And I stopped because of this point right here. Like, after this, after this, when this happened, when I was high, I told myself I wouldn't do it no more with guys when I'm high. But for some reason, gardening was just so popular and you just couldn't say no to it that it was just like, I might as well do it. So I did do it after that, even though I told myself I wouldn't. But after a while, I'm not doing that, especially on the first link, because me being high made me out of my mind and stuff. So I didn't really like it, especially on the first link, and I don't know you, and I'm just letting you do anything. Because I used to be stuck, y'all, for real. So he was like, oh, you can sit down. So I ended up sitting right there while I was standing, like on the bed, but like on the edge. Like, I slid over on the wall and sit down. He was like, come over here. So I went next to him or whatever on that side of the bed, the TV on, and he rolled up and we was gardening and we was making a little small conversation. But he had the TV on, so we was really watching TV, and I was kind of on my phone. So let's say he passed it to me, hit it a couple times, passed it back on my phone. Passed it to me, hit it a couple times, passed it back. He tried to pass it back that third time. I was like, oh no, I'm good. Like I was really good because I was like, wait, I had just started and I just learned how to smoke. Like I was doing it for a long time, like smoking with people, being cool, but I don't think I was smoking right because I ain't gonna lie, he had some good shit. I don't know what it was. He had some good shit. Maybe I was really smoking that day because I got high off the second pass, and I probably only hit it like 3-4 times each time. I think that's when you originally. I think that's when you supposed to feel it, or it's ass. But his shit was good. I'm like, what the hell? So I was like, oh no, I'm good. So he had hit it like 2 more times. So he put it out, and he was like, so what? What you were saying in the messages, huh? So I didn't mention that we was playing 8 ball for head, y'all. It was like the loser has to give head. Mind you, I made the fucking rule. And guess who lost? Winner, chicken fucking dinner. I fucking lost, bro. Why the fuck would I say loser gives head and I already lost the last 5 games? I must be wanted to do it. I must be wanted to fucking do it. My dumb ass. So he was like, oh, what's all that you were saying in the messages? I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? What messages? Yeah, the 8 ball thing. Who the loser got to give head or whatever. I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, So he turned the TV off and he stood up. As soon as he stood up, his mama called him. So he left the room. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck. But then in my head, like, what the fuck, what the fuck. I don't know what else I was about to say, y'all, but what the fuck, what the fuck. So he came back in and he had told me to lay down. Why his mama call him again? I kid y'all not. Every little step we take, his mama called his name, bro. He told me to lay down and he turned the light off. His mama called him. He came back in the room and he had like, I was at the top of the bed, like just laying there. So he had came in the room. No, he ain't turned the light off yet. I was laying down by the time his mama called him. When he came back and he closed his door, locked it, and turned the light off. And he was taking his shoes off and he started climbing. He was like when he was climbing, he was rubbing my leg like that. He was like, dang, you ain't gonna take your hands off? Because I think we agreed to do head for head or something like that. I think we had a little conversation about it because I was just acting like I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So I think we agreed to do head for head. So he was like, dang, you gonna take your pants off? Mind you, that's not the response I wanted. Because y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so invested in watching these videos that I knew what I wanted, y'all. I knew what the fuck I wanted. So for you to come to me and say, you ain't gonna take your pants off? Baby, I'm expecting you to come to me and start tongue kissing me, kiss me all down my body, take my clothes off for me, make me feel comfortable, get me wet. You feel me? So I'm like, oh, okay. So I take my pants off. I'm not taking my underwear off. You gotta wait for something. So he ends up like doing it on the outside of drawers, and then he took those off and he started doing it. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it was ass because like I stayed with him for a couple years on and off. Like it's 2025. Girl, I was messing with him in 2024. What the hell? So yes, it was very on and off, y'all. That what? Oh, 5. He ate it up. He did pretty good. But this first night, I ain't gonna lie, I was so hot in my mind, I ain't feel shit. Like, I felt you, but I didn't feel you, you know? Like, I know something down there doing some licking, but it's not making me make noise, if that makes sense. So I'm just at the sky, because just, was it my first time doing stuff like that? I don't think it's my first time, but it was my first time, if that makes sense. Like, it's my first time, but not my first time, because I had did some little gay activities back then. But it's like my first real time, so I'm like, what the hell? Like, this how I supposed to feel? Like, I don't feel shit. I'm just in my head, like staring at the ceiling, even though it's dark. Like his room was so dark because he turned the TV off and it was dark outside. He ain't had no street. I ain't said that word in a minute. He ain't had no street light next to his door, like his window. So we're just like pitch black dark, and I'm just staring with my eyes open, but it's dark. And he's doing it, but I'm not feeling it. And so then, like 2 minutes into him doing it, maybe 3, I don't know how long. I was like, oh shit, like I'm supposed to make noise. So I start making noise, like moaning, but I don't know if it sounded real. I just started making some type of noise. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm supposed to do that. So he ate it for a good little minute, but I wasn't feeling shit. So he ends up like coming up, but he was like kissing me up. I'm like, okay, I'm like that. But I still had my jacket on, so it was only like to like my belly button. And I'm thinking he finna come kiss me, y'all, because he said head for head. So I'm thinking, okay, he done. He about to flip over and I'm finna go crazy or do whatever I can. Why when he came up, Oh, I didn't mention what was weird in my head because I was talking to myself in the head this whole time. My mouth wouldn't move. I had cotton mouth. I had cotton. My mouth was like this the whole time because I couldn't believe what was happening. So he was eating it and he started moving a lot. I heard his belt buckling off. He was taking his pants off. So when he came up, I'm like, okay, he ready for me. He didn't kiss me, y'all. He didn't even kiss my neck. He didn't do nothing. He came up and put his head right here. But as he was like right here by the titty, something, yes, something slid on in down there. Something slid in me from down there. But y'all, so I didn't really make no noise. If you can pick up what I was saying, it was so I didn't really make no noise. I was just like, it wasn't no gasp or nothing, y'all. It was just I felt it. It was like what? So he came up. He did like 3 pumps, and then he gonna stop. You good? You want me to stop? I was like, cause like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I could have said, but y'all, I was just so distraught. And I'm just in my head, like, my nigga, you already did 3 pumps. The shit going, now keep going. Mind you, he knew I was a freaking virgin. And I mean, we talked about that. So I thought you were lying. That's why I tested it, but I knew you wasn't lying when I got in it, because it was so good. It was like, why the fuck would I lie about something like that? If I want to fuck you, I say I want to fuck you. But anyway, I'm like, He was like, I was like, you feel me? You want me to stop? So he kept going, missionary. He's going. At this point, I don't feel nothing, y'all. I don't feel nothing. He got his head right here in my shoulder. He going crazy. I guess it feel good to him. He was making a little bit of noise. I was like, oh shit. I didn't make no noise. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't made no noise at this point because it was just something I was so shocked about. Caught him out like a fuck now. So then, after a good little minute doing that, he tells me to turn around. I was like, oh, I said, because I had watching videos. They say, do not turn around. Don't do no other position when you lose your virginity but missionary. And I was like, like I can't. And he was just like, come on, turn around. So I end up turning around because like, nigga, you begging at this point. So I feel like I can't. So I turned around, didn't arch. I was just turned around. He ends up pressing in my back. I'm like, okay, and he ended up doing that. Now I ain't gonna lie, when he was doing the back, it did have some pressure, y'all. It was pressure, like it had a little pain, like made me, hunch my back a little bit, but it wasn't horrible because, yeah, it wasn't horrible because so I felt it, but like since we felt pressure, we'll do a thumb because this skinny and this is a little, it got a little bit more to it, girth. I think that's the word. So, I was like, oh. And I did start making noise. After we went to back shots, y'all start crying. Start crying. So after when I started crying, I guess I'm making like a little bit of noise with the crying. And he started talking a little bit like, yeah, you like that? I'm just mad. Like, no. So I ain't saying nothing. I'm just letting him do his job. Like not even too long in that position, I start crying. He tells me he get out and he lay on the side of me, like, okay, come get on top, come get on top. I'm like, I'm like, no, like, come on, get on top. So yeah, I was really refused. I had to sit down and I was like, no, like I can't. So why this man, big ass boy, picks me up and put me on top of him and put it in. And I've watched porn. I know you supposed to bounce on that shit. When I say I sat down and was looking like who supposed to be up here, who supposed to be doing this, I sat down on it because like you put me up here, so you figure it out. So he had to do it from underneath. He was holding me while he was doing it because I wasn't doing it. Y'all, I promise. I wasn't freaking back. I wasn't fucking back. I wasn't. So he's doing it in this position. I still felt pressure. I felt it. It was a little painful or whatever. On a scale of 1 through 10, the pain from my first time, I'm gonna say a 5, 6. Now I'm not saying this to tell y'all that y'all's gonna be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But mine was and so it's just like that's why. Now I'm not telling you to start with a because once you start doing it with uns, you're gonna be it's gonna feel some way. So it's like no matter who you do it with first, you gonna eventually start feeling some type of pain with the bigger you go. You feel me? Yeah. So I'm not saying start off big. Definitely, ease your way up there, but I'm not saying it's best to start small either because you're going to be definitely surprised when you think that shit going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy and your ass end up crying on your third. body. You feel me? So, because that was me. Um, so I had some bad luck at first with them things. And then when I started meeting them, I was like, what the hell going on? Ah, mama. Y'all, I'm so fucking tired. I'm sorry. Let's finish the story. So I'm on top and he's doing it because I'm not moving. Y'all, why it fell out and he gonna tell me to put it in? Who? I don't know what you're talking about, sir. He ended up putting it in because I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm still crying at this point, and after a while, I'm up here for a minute. I'm like, fuck, let me just try to enjoy it. Tell me why I went down to kiss him or whatever, trying to be romantic and try to just feel it. Why I ended up kissing him right here between his nose and his lip, like not even on his lips, like in the middle. But he knew what I was trying to do, so he had kind of like, after I did that, he leaned up and we had started kind of kissing, but it was so dry. I had caught him out, so we didn't use no tongue. It was just pecks. And then like after like the third, fifth peck, he ended up like lifting me up and you know, exploding or whatever, releasing. He ended up releasing and got on me. And I moved and he was like, oh, don't sit down. But I had done sit down. Because I had like got up off him and sat down instead of staying like that so he could like wipe me. So I put that shit on his damn sheets because anybody told you to do that. So I sat down. He was like, oh, don't sit down. Oh, okay. So why as soon as he released, his mama called him, y'all. His mama called him. I'm like, what the cameras at? Where's the cameras, bitch? How did you know? So his mom called. He like, yeah, I'm coming. So um, he ended up. It was still dark in the room. I'm still sitting there. I'm just like shocked. Like I'm out still open. I'm still crying a little bit, and I'm just staring at him. But I could kind of see him in the darkness. You know, it's like dark, but I see him, and he like putting on his clothes or whatever in the dark, and he go out the room. And his mama, and he was in there. He was gone for like 5 minutes. I don't know if he was telling her experience or what, but he was gone for a minute that time. He came back, turned the light on. I'm still in the same spot. I'm actually on my phone at this point. And he was like, "Oh, ain't you gotta go?" So it's like 7:40 something. I remember looking at the time. It was like close to 8 o'clock, and I was just in my head like, "Oh yeah, okay." Like I knew I couldn't stay longer. Like I could have maybe 5 minutes because he didn't live far from me, and I know I couldn't, but I wish I could have. But if I could have, I feel like it wouldn't have had changed anything. I wanted to experience the laying down cuddle part, you know, like the hug, the something, like the freaking and leaving was like a little surprising to me. Like, did he really just do this to me? Like, y'all was so freaking sad at that point. I'm like, damn, okay. I was like, oh yeah. So I got up and started putting on my clothes. And I remember I had headphones with the strings at this point, so I ended up putting them on because his mama called. Well, no, his mama didn't call me. He went in the room. Sorry, let me go get the keys. His mama was finna go somewhere. He was like, no, but I gotta get her to the house. I gotta get her to the house, man. Mind you, this man 20, 21 at this time, and I'm 16. I don't know if I told y'all. Yeah, I ended up losing that at 16. Sadly, after I said 18 to 21, right? End up following the damn crew. I was almost 17. On my birthday in March. I did this in January. So, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in myself. But, yeah, his mom was like, all right, hurry up. Just stop by the liquor store and get me this. Because that's where she was going to go, I guess. So, he was like, all right, come on. So, we left. And, um, we went downstairs. When we got downstairs, we went in the kitchen. So I was standing in the living room, the boy on the game again. I'm caught him out like a fuck, y'all. I wanted to ask this boy for something to drink, but I could not get it out. I couldn't get no words out. So I'm staring at the boy with the game again. At this point, he probably is doing that, but I'm not looking away. I'm just staring with my mouth open still. And he came and he opened the door and we left. We in the car. I had my headphones. I put them in. He had music blasting, y'all. No conversation. Music just blasting. Like he happy as a fuck. He over there rapping and shit. I'm listening to Beyonce and shit. Like the song probably was a love song, not even nothing sad. But I'm over there looking out the window, y'all crying. I got my hand on the thing with my headphones. I'm just crying. So I'm doing that, and I don't think he noticed. And if he did, he probably didn't give a fuck because it ain't never got talked about. And so yeah, I'm out the window crying or whatever, and he rapping his music, and so we get closer home, and I'm in my head like, all right, let me stop. I'm like, I really need a freaking hug. I wish I could hug my mom and stuff, but I'm scared. I wish my best friend was here to tell her because I'm scared. Like I want to hug her. I'm like, I need a fucking hug. Like I just wanted a hug, and I wanted to cry on somebody's shoulder. So I get to the little cut where he dropped me off at, and we were just sitting there for a minute, and he was like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, you good." He was like, oh, "Okay." So I was like, can I get a hug? He was like, yeah, you can get a hug. So I ended up getting out the car and going to his side, the driver's side. And he didn't get out the car, but he kind of like turned out the car with his legs. And I hugged him. And y'all, that was a great hug. Y'all know big people give good hugs. That was a good hug. And I wanted to cry, but I'm like, I can't. So we just hugged, no kiss, no nothing, just hug. Mind you, this is my boyfriend. I love you, babe, I love you. Every day in the messages and on FaceTime. But in person, it's totally different. I don't know this man. Walk home, I'm crying a little bit. Get in my room, act like I've been there, turn fucking Nickelodeon on and stuff, and I went in my room. But I turned the TV on downstairs because it looked like I've been home. The TV downstairs off and I'm upstairs. It just looked suspicious, y'all. I always turned on the TV on something I would watch, and then I went upstairs in my room and put on like some booty shorts and a tank top. So I called my best friend and I'm in front of my mirror. My mirror had LED lights around it. And I was crying and I told her and she was like, oh my god. She was a little upset with me because she didn't want me to do it and I used to speak so highly of not doing it or whatever, but I was crying to her and I told my experience and how much I hated it and stuff. And for a minute I used to tell people that I was straight, but I wasn't. You feel me? Like I gave him consent. After the 3 strokes, after you already took it, the 3 strokes, you asked me, you good? You want me to stop? And I was like, He's like, you good? I said, You want me to stop? So that was consent. I said, yeah, go ahead. I'm good. You could keep going. You feel me? So it wasn't that, but it was just the fact that I hated it and that it didn't go how I wanted it. And I felt like you just rushed into it. You didn't ask me to put it. And you know I was a virgin. That's not what I came for. And I even expressed that to him that that's something I didn't want to do. So that was a little disappointing. Maybe like a week later of gaining the confidence to tell him about himself, I ended up getting either texting or on the phone. I think we was texting and I was telling him I didn't appreciate how that went down and I just felt like you could have asked. I felt like you could have did this. I wish you would have cuddled. I told him I was crying during it. He was like, and he wrote me a little paragraph and it was very sentimental. But at that time, at 16 and 20-year-old, his little message made me seem, oh my god, you really cares for me, you really love me the whole time. It's like, girl, no. He was just trying to, manipulate you or whatever, get over on you. So he wrote me a little paragraph apologizing, saying he's going to make it up to me, that he didn't want to make me feel like that. Sorry for rushing it. He just know I had to get home. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense why I had to get home. But even if we couldn't lay down and cuddle, like, we could have stood in your room and hugged and, like just a little hug or talk to me or something. Like, we get in the car and you blasted fucking music. Like, hello, hey, how you doing? You just took my virginity. You don't want to talk about it? So we ended up doing that. And I was telling him, like, next time I want to, make it better. Because at this point, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not doing it again. But, like, a couple days go by and I'm like, I do want to do it or whatever. And y'all, I'm not, like, watching stuff on social media and watching stuff on the internet and porn. That little chair he had in his room, I told him I want to do it on the chair. So, y'all, the second time I went to his house and we did it, as soon as we hit the room, we started tongue kissing. And then he had did my that was my first time doing that, and I was like, okay, yeah. Ever since that day, these are my favorite things. They so sensitive. That's my favorite thing. He did that. He did that. Y'all, he even ate the Ruda. He even ate the booty. He ate the groceries. Y'all, he ate the groceries. So he had ate the front, and then this man lifted me up and started eating the fucking booty. He ate the groceries the second time. Went crazy missionary. I'm like, okay, I feel this shit now because I ain't had smoke that time. Like, as soon as we walked in the room, we started. I had felt it a little bit, y'all, just a little bit. Like, it didn't feel like nothing. Like, it had a little bit more pressure. It was like a good pressure. And I just thought he had the best thing ever. I ain't gonna lie. I thought, like, I seen it and I was like, okay, that's. But the way it felt, I'm like, okay, yes, this is it. Okay. Y'all, why we went on the chair, like, bent me over the chair the second time. Like, after that, we couldn't stop. So, yes, my first time was kind of horrible, but that second time, my favorite story, which I ain't gonna go too much detail, just know that shit was A1. And I made it to his house every day. I don't give a fuck if I'm getting in trouble. I'm coming. I need that. But and after that we definitely laid down. Cause as soon as we walked in the room, we was like, we gotta make it quick. And I think we had like 10 minutes to lay down and chill and kiss and laugh. After that, we could not stop. And then we start going on dates. Not even dates for real, y'all. Cause I didn't have enough time and I was scared. And I don't know. We never went on dates for real until we got like older. Like, I said I just stopped talking to him at 24. So, yeah, we just like go get fast food when they go to his house and eat and watch movies and stuff. And then I start hanging out in the living room with his family and his, stuff like that. We start making videos, posting each other and stuff. But y'all, when I tell y'all, those years went by. I ain't gonna say he made me, but y'all, I went kind of crazy after a couple months of knowing him, and then stuff with me and him start going downhill because y'all, he would go weeks without talking to me and texting me, and then come out the blue like, "Oh, I was in jail," or "I was in the hospital," or "Oh, this happened." Like we'll be on the phone all day, and he go get his sister from work at like 12 because Carrie Hicks closed late. He would call me 5 in the morning. "Hey, babe, I'm sorry, man. The police man put us over. I had to spend a couple hours, and your mom had to come get me. It was crazy. Why the fuck you got pulled over every other night? I promise you that was his last every other night." So I knew he had to get a sister because like sometimes he'd come with his sister in the car, but I don't think he did that every night. I think he was at a bitch house. I ain't gonna lie. He probably was cheating on me, but like I don't know. I honestly don't know the truth behind that to this day, years later. So yeah, I don't know, but I know that he started acting weird. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I went kind of crazy. I did. I had my little whole phase very early on in my um virginity taking years or whatever. So, we was breaking up on and off, on and off, on and off for years. After that first time dating, we never dated again. We would just deal with each other. We was like sneaky links basically, but we would do more things. Like we would go to the movies. I would still hang out with his family. Like I'm still friends with his people on Instagram and stuff. Like we're cool as a freak. Like his sister came to my birthday party. Like we're still cool, but yeah, it was crazy. I don't know what happened, why we fell off, why he was acting so weird. But I remember he was begging for me back. And he was just like, "I'm gonna do better this time. I apologize for how I did you the first time." So he knew what the fuck he was doing. And I don't know exactly what he was doing, but it sounded like he was cheating on me, right? Oh, okay. So that's why I did what I did. And I don't sound stupid, right? Oh, okay, just making sure. But yes, y'all, that is my story time about how I lost my V card. Very crazy, very interesting. This video is not to encourage y'all to go do it if you haven't. Do it when you're comfortable, for real. Like when you really like and when you're comfortable, make sure that age bracket is right. Make sure you're ready, because I wasn't ready, y'all. Oh, sorry for hitting the mic. I wasn't ready at all. But it happened, and it's just something I gotta live with. That was years ago. So it's just like, do it when you're ready. Do it with the right person. It might not be the right person. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes not the right person. You might think it is, but the right person for you. Y'all might not last, but just don't regret that decision. Like, I'm not motivating y'all to do it. I'm not telling y'all not to do it. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're ready. Not because everybody else ready. Not because you want to fit in. Not because you're a little hornball. Girl, use your hand. I ain't gonna lie. Use your hand. Go get a toy. For real. Even at 17, yeah. I'm for real. Because don't be wasting your body on these boys. I promise I messed up. Like I said, I had my little whole phase real early. I wish I could go back and not even lose it. Like, I wish my whole little process would have happened now with my new man. Because I promise that's going to be my husband. Can't wait to show him, y'all. I mean, can't wait to show y'all him, because that's going to be my husband. Y'all probably going to see him in some more vlogs. But I'm my man for a year now. A year and some change. 1 on 2. And I wish I just waited for that man. I ain't gonna lie. Because that's the one. That's the one. But yes, y'all, this is the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. You could drop down in the comments your experience or advice or anything you want to talk about, honestly, in the comments. Like and share. Make sure you subscribe if you like this video. I have more interesting story times about him, about other people, about crazy times in my life. But yes, y'all, thank you guys for watching. I don't know what y'all been told. Bitch, I'm messed up if you don't. What's happening?